If you open up your working folder, you will find two new documents. One's called GrandTetonWyoming.psd, and the other one is AA.psd. If you would like to follow along, and I hope you do, go ahead and open up both of those images. Now, this image is a very famous image. This is the Snake River with the majestic Grand Tetons in the background in Wyoming, USA. It was shot by Ansel Adams. Most photographers know that name. He's kind of a photographic hero to me. His history in the early part of his life, he made his own glass plates, his own negatives. Truck up into the mountains somewhere, a couple of mules and a couple of assistants, take all day looking at that river, take maybe 2 photographs, process on site. Amazing. It wasn't the technology that made Ansel Adams who he was. It was his tremendous eye for the scene. I really do like him. What I want to do is make this into the Ansel Adams effect. Now understand something. Not all images will take that effect and do it well. This one will. Got a lot of blue sky, clouds, got that old tree there and the rocks. This one should work pretty good, but not all will. If you go out onto the internet, go ahead and do this right now. Just stop and do this. Type in Ansel Adams effect. You're going to get all kinds of sites. This is the Ansel Adams effect. In my opinion, every image must be adjusted and stand on its own. We're talking high chromatic value films. That's all we're doing here. How do we do it? Well, let me show you how I do it on this image. I'm going to go into my half moon icon down here and go into black and white. Now look at the difference between this one right now with default settings on black and white and the one we did in the previous lesson. It's different. Every image will look different when applied on default. This one actually doesn't look that bad. It's halfway toward the effect right now. What I want to do is get more contrast. Now, here's how you're going to do it. Typically, your cyans, blues, and magentas need to be pushed to the left, like that. And your reds, yellows, and greens need to be pushed to the right. Now, from this point forward, it depends on the image. Depends on what you want to do. We can play around with it now until we get that high value contrast to this image. I guarantee you, if you're working on the same image and you're not looking at what I did, your values will be slightly different. Why? Because you're the one doing the adjustment. We're not robots. What do you see? Stop when you like it. Now, we're not done. I'm going to collapse this out for a second. Let's go into Rocks Tree, right down here, that layer. Right-click your mouse on it and tell the computer you want to convert it into a smart object. Now, the reason for that is if we make a mistake with the next step, we can fix it. We can undo it. Now, go up to the word filter on the pull-down menu and go into sharpen and go into something like unsharp mask. Now, in unsharp mask, we're going to get back to the color image. You can see it right here. What I'm looking for here is, let me just play around a little bit. See how it's getting more and more sharp? So I'm just trying to give a little bit more sharpness to the image, which would be typical of these type of images, and click OK. Now we can turn it on and off. And you can see the effect is subtle. But to me, it adds just a little bit more of those old chromatic films on glass plates. The actual Ansel Adams effect, in my opinion, would be controlled based on your image and not by an arbitrary set of values you find on the internet. Have some fun with it. Play around. If you like retro, there you go.